From amazing 5-bedroom, 2-story homes to beautiful 2 bedrooms with office space, Celebrity Homes has the perfect home for you. Our homes come with amazing features, vaulted ceilings, sprinkler systems, quartz countertops, designer light packages, and more. Plus, Celebrity Homes is proud to offer our new exclusive closing package. Get a refrigerator, washer-dryer, garage door opener, instant access to Wi-Fi, professionally installed blinds, and up to $3,000 towards closing costs. Yes, it's all included. Visit CelebrityHomesOmaha.com today.
Meet the next generation of podcast stars with SiriusXM's Listen Next program, presented by State Farm. As part of their mission to help voices be heard, State Farm teamed up with SiriusXM to uplift diverse and emerging creators. Tune in to Stars and Stars with Issa, as host Issa Nakazawa dives into birth charts of her celeb guests. This is just the start of a new wave of podcasting. Visit statefarm.com to find out how we can help prepare for your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Today is the day you will lose fat. Come see Dr. T at NJ Diet.
Easiest diet I've ever done. It's changed my life. Come see Dr. T.
Using blood work and DNA testing. 1-855-5NJ-DIET and NJDiet.com. Change your life in only 40 days with NJ Diet. O-G.
Make some noise!
He's the inventor of the scratch. He's a teacher, DJ for the Fantastic Five. He's the legendary Grand Wizard Theodore. Thank you so much for joining me on the library with Tim Einenkel.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Thanks, man. It's a true honor to have you in our studio. Let's start from the beginning. I'm sure there's... What was your first taste, I guess, of rap music? And then what was your first taste of hip-hop culture? I know you were there pretty much from the beginning, but like... when did you know that, all right, this is the music I want to be a part of, and this is the culture I want to be a part of?
Well, I mean, it was definitely the early 70s when I realized what the hip hop culture was, what a jam was. This culture has been here for a long time. I didn't realize what it was until I seen the 2 turntables in the mixer that Grandmaster Flash and my brother Mean Gene had, because this culture was always around me, with the graffiti in the streets, with the b-boys, with the doo-wop people freestyling on the corner, the way people, the way people dress, the way people walk, the way people talk and stuff like that. All that was always around me. I just didn't know what it was until I seen the 2 turntables in the mixer. That's when it finally hit me that I was born into a culture that was already here,
Was it ever, we talk about culture, we talk about hip-hop culture, but I don't think I think people just, especially now, use it just as a kind of a just part of their slang, part of their vernacular. Right. Was hip-hop culture then, at that time, how was it explained to you? When you were asked, what am I a part of? Was that ever a question that was asked?
It was never a question of what I was a part of. I knew what I was a part of because I was living it every single day. Just getting up in the morning, seeing the MCs freestyling and writing down rhymes and seeing my brother playing music, playing beats and stuff like that, and playing 2 turntables in a mixer, b-boying and stuff like that, throwing house parties and b-boying and up rocking and stuff like that, going out in the streets and seeing the graffiti artists painting the trains and painting the sidewalks and painting inside the buildings and stuff like that, and listening to funk and soul music and watching Soul Train and stuff like that. Right there, I knew that I was a part of something. Nobody really had to explain it to me because I was actually living it,
What drew you to? So what drew you to be the DJ versus the graph writer versus the MC versus the break dancer?
Well, first I was a b-boy, because I was listening to the music, listening to my brother Mean Gene play music, him and Grandmaster Flash, and my way of enjoying myself and enjoying the music was b-boying. That was a way for me to just get out all this energy I had inside me and stuff like that. And I remember when I actually sprained my wrist. My wrist was sprained, and I had a cast on. And when I had the cast on, I finally realized that I didn't want to be a b-boy anymore. And I got the opportunity to be a DJ. And once I got the taste of being a DJ, that's when I finally decided that that's what I want to do. You know?
Who, I guess, so did DJ come natural to you? I mean, what was the learning process for you?
Oh, yeah, actually it came natural because my mother had a record player in the house that looked like a coffin. You got the TV in the front, and if you lift up the coffin and look inside, she had a turntable, she had an 8-track deck, she had the turntable there, she had the radio there, and I used to play the 45s on her turntable. And when the break, which is the best part of the record, it'd be at the beginning, it could be in the middle, or it could be at the end, I would take the needle and skip the needle back to the break part so I can, enjoy the record a little bit more. And that's when I first got a taste of actually wanting to DJ. And that's when I actually created the needle drop.
Actually, the question I was going to ask you about, what is the needle drop? If you briefly explain what it is, but also what is that? What is the significance of the needle drop to the DJ, but then also to hip hop culture?
Yeah, well, the needle drop is like, a lot of people that listen to music actually started off with one turntable. So you would get to the break part of the record, which is the get down part, which is the drummer part, which is the best part of the record. It might be at the beginning, it might be in the middle, or it might be at the end. And when you get to that break part, you want to pick the needle up and bring it back to the break part after it ends. And me not knowing that I was picking the needle up and pulling it back to the break part, I didn't know that I was developing the needle drop style, which is really, really crazy, And that's when, I finally realized, man, that, this might be my calling. This is, DJing might be, my calling. And then once I got on the turntables, everything came natural to me,
You talk about your brother, Mean Gene. You talk
Yes.
about Grandmaster Flash.
Right.
What has been their role in your life as a DJ? But also, what were the most important lessons you kind of took away from them?
The important lessons I took away from them is basically just like the all around genre of music that they play. I mean, they played disco music, they played funk and soul, they played breaks, they played the old slow jams like the Moments, the Delphonics, the Stylistics and stuff like that, all the love songs. And I learned that, you just can't just limit yourself to just one genre of music. You have to be open-minded to play all genres of music. I learned that, 2 turntables in a mixer, to keep the party going. I learned about hooking up your speakers and stuff like that, and just marketing yourself with mixtapes and stuff like that, and marketing yourself with just coming out in the summertime and doing block parties and stuff like that, so people can see, your equipment, see the potential that you have. So when the wintertime comes and it gets cold and you start handing out flyers to the venues, people will actually come and pay the $1.50, $3 to see you play because they seen you play in the parks all summer, So I've learned all that from my brother Mean Gene and Grandmaster Flash. Yeah.
There's a few questions that I might be all over the place, but from that statement, couple of things. You're talking about the significance of the importance of having different genres of music.
Absolutely.
Because at the time, rap was not was not on, wasn't on the radio, wasn't the number one genre of music now. So you have a generation of kids growing up where rap is their influence.
Mm-hmm.
How significant is for a DJ is it to not just have to have more than just rap in his or her record collection, to be more, to have more knowledge about, like you said, the stylistics, or even like the rock band Kiss, all these, what's the importance there for a DJ coming up today?
Well, the importance is if you're going to call yourself a DJ, you can't just limit yourself to just R&B and funk and soul music. You have to keep an open mind to open genre music. My mom's played Aretha Franklin. She played Al Green. She played Barry White. She played Tom Jones. She played so many different groups, man. Not just African American groups. She played rock music. She played jazz. She played all types of music. And once I started DJing, I realized that that's the type of music you want to play. I mean, if you're a DJ and you only play hip hop music, that means that people are going to only call you to do hip hop parties.
Right.
You want to be able to do an 80s party and play some 80s songs. You want to be able to do a party and play some rock music or some soft rock music or some funk and soul music and stuff like that. You want to be able to play all this music, then you'll be able to get more work, and you'll be able to broaden your mind and the different music that's coming from other different places other than United States. You got groups from Australia, you got groups from China, you got groups from Japan, and we were actually playing all these groups.
Huh.
I mean, we were playing Phil Collins, we were playing Aerosmith, we were playing Kiss. We were playing all these groups, man, and to be a DJ, you got to have to, broaden your horizons and play all different genres of music.
You also talked about marketing yourself, making sure that when winter comes, people know who you are.
Absolutely.
When you say marketing yourself now, right? You get this, it's like marketing yourself to a label, like trying to be, all right, I'm going to hand out my demo to whoever and hopefully get signed. You're obviously marketing yourself for a different reason at this time. So did you see what was happening with the culture as something that was going to be this like huge, obviously billion-dollar industry now, or did you more see it as like a local, it's just going to be a local thing that, a local guy that I could just make money off of at parties or something like that? Did you envision that it was going to be what it is today?
Absolutely not. I didn't envision what it was going to be like today. We did what we did because of love. We were around abandoned buildings being set on fire, gangs, single parent homes, people not being able to get jobs, the government not putting money back into the community, and hip hop was our way of getting away from the everyday, getting away from the everyday hustles and bustles that was like bringing us down. I mean, you got the MC will sit down and write about stuff. It may be drugs or going to school or his girlfriend or stuff like that. And then you got the graffiti artist that's painting in colors and frustrated about life, and then you got the DJ that may just go in his room and just start playing music and just take his mind, out of what's going on in the streets and stuff like that. And that's what we did. We wasn't worried about if we was going to make any money off of it. We just got to the point where we had expenses where if we're gonna buy 2 turntables and a mixer and buy all these records and stuff like that, we need to start charging people a little bit of money so that we can have some money to go out and purchase some 45s, purchase some albums, purchase some speakers, purchase some turntables and purchase some mixers so that we can continue to keep doing what we're doing. You know, we didn't know that this art form, this culture was going to be, you know, what it is today.
So this question I should have asked you in the beginning, and I know you've definitely answered this, but I'm always, Grand Wizard Theodore, how did that name come to be? And were there other names that you kind of tried out that you might not remember or want to talk about, but be prior to settling on?
Well, I never really, when I first started DJing, I just went straight for it. You know, DJ Theodore. You know, I just kept it real. That's my name, and that's going to be my DJ name. I didn't really think about, you know, trying to, you know, glorify my name or anything. I just went for, you know, DJ Theodore. And as time went by, my MCs, fantastic, they said, like, the way you play the music and the way you play the music and the way you electrify the crowd, you know, you play music different from everybody else. It's like you're magical on a turntable, so we're going to call you Grand Wizard. You know, that's how a Grand Wizard came about. So that's when it became Grand Wizard Theodore. You know, and the name just stuck with me. It was that, you know, the rest was history.
Playing music differently, is that you know, you talked, like, DMC has been on the show, and we talked about just lyricism and coming up, and, you know, he said, you know, when they were coming out, it was like, you know, everyone was doing red, so you did blue, you know, and you kind of, that was the significance of that.
Yes.
I imagine the same thing for DJing, is that if everyone's doing red, you're doing blue. Was that at first like a kind of an unspoken, you know, unspoken that you were supposed to be able to, you know, you had to do something different to make yourself known? What did you do? What did you feel you did differently than other DJs?
Well, I sat back and watched all the other DJs, and I came to the realization that they all basically sound the same. You know, it's like it's like you get a recipe and give it to like five different chefs. It's like all the chefs are doing the same recipe.
Right.
But you might got that one chef that might start, you know, add a little bit something more, you know. And me, myself, I said, if I'm going to be recognized as a DJ, I have to make sure that I don't sound like all the other DJs. So I watched all the other DJs. I've listened to all the other DJs and made sure that I thought outside the box and made sure that I sound like Grand Wizard Theodore and didn't sound like the other DJs. Because I truly believe that my gift, I have a gift, you know, as far as like, you know, turntablism is concerned. Everybody has a gift. And I realized early that my gift was being a DJ. And people definitely seen that whenever I get on the turntables and start playing music. They be like, this guy's only like 11, 12 years old. And look at him here flipping the records back and forth like, you know, like it ain't nothing, you know? So I definitely wanted to make sure that my style of DJing was not like anybody else's style of DJing if I wanted to be known. So that's basically what I did. If I seen a DJ play a record a certain way, I make sure I played it the opposite, you know? And that's how I got noticed, you know?
So of course, you know, Grand Wizard Theodore, inventor of the scratch.
Mm-hmm.
How did the scratch come to be? Was it something you were, I mean, I think I was watching a documentary on the DJ, and you just mentioned you're at a club, a party, and you kind of dropped the needle and it made a scratching sound, and that kind of how, I mean, I might be simplifying, or I do have.
That's not how it happened. When I was 12 years old in 1975, I was in my last year of junior high school, and my principal played music in the lunchroom through the loudspeakers. I think he had a little boom box, and he had the microphone that he does the announcements on.
Oh,
so
wow.
I guess he clicked certain buttons where he can talk to either the whole building or just the lunchroom. So he played music in the lunchroom, and a lot of the kids got tired of listening to the music that he was playing. So a friend of mine convinced my principal to let me make a cassette tape. So the principal said, okay, make a cassette tape. I'll listen to it, and I'll see if I can play it. So I went home, took my boombox, put it in front of the speaker, press record, started making my cassette tape. And during the course of me making my cassette tape, the music that we practiced on was in my mother's house. So I was playing music so loud this day, and it got to the point where my mom's came and she kicked the door open. She busted it. It seemed like she kicked the door open. She came in the room, was like, look, either you cut the music down or you cut the music off. Now, those couple of seconds would seem like an eternity. I was actually making my cassette tape. One record was playing, was ready to go off, and I was holding the other record. So what I did was I pulled the music down, did a little zugga with the record, and played the record. My mom's left the room, and when I finished my cassette tape, I rewound it back. And when it got to the part where she came in the room, I could hear myself baby scratching, and I was like, wow, I can incorporate this into all the other things that I do as a DJ. And as I practice a couple of days, next couple of hours, and that's how I became a scratch.
So who was the first person or group of people that you kind of presented the scratch to? And then what was, it's so commonplace today, obviously, the scratch, but what was that reaction like?
Well, we played, like I said earlier, we played music in the summertime. We gave block parties in the summertime. So this particular day, when we gave our block party, that was my chance to present the scratch to everybody. I came to the park with lightning in a bottle and stuff like that. And when people saw me scratching, man, it basically electrified the crowd. People were like, wow, what is this guy doing? It's like hearing your favorite record, but you hear me scratching the record, and everybody like, wow, what is this guy doing, And it basically just electrified the crowd. And then ever since then, people were like, this guy is really, really good. It's like as time goes by, he's getting better and better and better. I was like 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. And the older I got, the more my skills on the turntable got better and better and better.
Did people go to you after this to kind of learn your technique on how to scratch? Was that immediate? Or were people just trying themselves?
Well, people, I'm sure people went home. I'm sure some DJs went home and tried to learn, but not many people had two turntables in the mixer.
Right.
Back then, a lot of people were MCs. They were B-boys. There really wasn't that many DJs as it is now.
Right.
As time started to go by, that's when you start to see more MCs, more B-boys, more graffiti artists, more DJs. And my skills as a DJ was like 2-3 steps ahead of everybody, because every day it was like my skills were getting better and better and better. And people see me come in the park and see me do something different every time we come to the park. And they'd be like, wow, this guy's skills is getting better and better. You come to the park one week and he's doing one thing, and then you come to the park the next week, he's doing something else.
Right.
So I was always 2-3 steps ahead of everybody.
Talib Kweli and Mos Def's album, Black Star album, they have the intro track, and at the end it says, at the end of the intro track, it says, the statements they make tonight will determine what everyone else plays shortly. With the scratch, what was the statement you think you were trying to make? Or was there like a statement that you were trying to make?
The statement I was trying to make was that I want to change the way you listen to music, by creating the scratch. I want to change the way people listen to music. I want to change the way people look at the DJ. I wanted to basically make the turntable my instrument, my musical instrument. I wanted the people to see how much talent I have and how I can create something from nothing. And that's exactly what I did.
Obviously, the scratch has developed and evolved in so many different ways since you invented it. Yeah. Has there been a DJ that you've kind of watched or that's done the scratch that's kind of completely floored you and like, oh, shit, that's like, damn, that's good.
Well, now or
like
back then?
I guess the first time besides yourself, the first person you saw that tried the scratch that kind of like, oh, wow.
Well, I would have to say a DJs like Wizkid, God bless him, a DJ like Master Don from the Def Committee, And these guys, when they jumped on the turntables and did what they did, man, they definitely did take it to another level and stuff like that. And then you got Grand Mixer, DXT and stuff like that when he did the Rocket and stuff like that, and it was like I'm just happy that they took something that I created and took it to the next level, You
talk about, you go from the equipment you had, and obviously as time goes by, equipment develops and new technology and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
How has the advancement of the DJ equipment, has that helped and hurt the idea of the scratch, but also the DJ?
Well, it's like having the first car. You look at the first car that was made, and then you look at the car now, and these cars are driving themselves and parking themselves, and got computers in it and everything, and you can talk to the car and everything. So I think basically, technology is going to happen whether we like it or not. We just have to change with it. If you see someone driving around a 1945 car, everybody's gonna look at it like, oh wow, look at that. Then you see someone driving around a 2020 car, they're gonna be like, oh wow, that's the new stuff. So technology is gonna evolve whether we like it or not. We just have to make the decision whether we're gonna evolve with it. And I've learned a long time ago that technology is coming out, and I have to learn how to move with the technology.
There's you ask people about you and kind of get info, just like, hey, what would you ask Grand Wizard Theodore? And
my age, I hope not.
And I have a few friends who are hip hop graph writers, b-boys, and they told me about, they heard this story. It involves either you or Jazzy J about being at a party and the shooting broke out, and either you or Jazzy J continued to play the record. Is that a true story?
Yeah, that has happened. That definitely has happened where fight breaks out and we just keep playing music. That has happened. I mean, I think it has happened to me like once or twice, because if a fight breaks out in a party and it gets like really, really out of hand, sometimes we depend on the security to take care of it and stuff like that. But sometimes if the fight gets out of hand and then it disrupts the whole entire party, then you have to cut the music down and trying to get everything under control.
Has there been stories about you that you've kind of just like, you heard and like those are completely untrue, and if there has been, what was that story that kind of like you just need to like, dismiss real quickly, cut it off?
Well, there's been stories where people say we gave a party, me and the L brothers, we gave a party, and I had a bunch of silver chains on, and I got stuck up, and they took all my silver chains off and stuff like that. That's definitely not true. It just basically been stories where people, came inside the party and just stuck up the whole party and stuff like that, which was true. But the part where they say that someone came in and took all the silver chains I had around my neck was one time in the 70s, everybody was wearing silver chains at one time. Everybody was wearing silver chains, and I had a bunch of silver chains around my neck, and it was said that someone came and snatched all my chains off and stuff like that. But it wasn't really too many rumors that people were saying about me that was true.
Not many people might know that your voice is sampled in one of like the most iconic songs that for me that I grew up with is Public Enemy's "Bring the Noise."
Yeah,
they sample, turn it up.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you as one of the pioneers who to have his voice kind of sample, a DJ having his own voice sampled by another crew, and what were your? Go ahead.
It's really cool. I love Public Enemy and stuff like that, and I just feel like it's surreal, man. I just feel really honored, man, that they sample my voice. I'm just honored.
You obviously came from the time where the DJ was the statue, the poster, the lead of the culture, and now the MC. Slowly, and now it has become really the the main focus, I think, in the culture. So when you first started, well, when was the first time for you that you saw kind of the MC taking over as the lead, and what were your first impressions of that?
Well, the first time I seen that the MCs were basically being put in the forefront of the stage, and the DJ was put in the back, is when the records people started recording music and stuff like that. When when Sugar Hill Gang came out, and then you had Grandmaster Flash and them, they started recording and everything and stuff like that. And for marketing purposes, the MC was more marketable than the DJ. So they took the MC and put the MC in the front, and they took the DJ and pushed the DJ to the back, Then it got to the point where they said, well, we really don't need the DJ anymore. So they started using the DATs and stuff like that. Right. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. They started using the DATs and stuff, and it's just like, for marketing reasons, they just push the DJ to the back, which is really crazy, So it is what it is.
Was there if this was me, and then I totally don't want to speak for you on this one, but if this was me, and I'm one of the pioneers of this, I will, no matter what happens, no matter what group comes out, and no matter how good they are, I would hate them because, I don't know if that happened for you, but was there an MC that kind of, when this change started happening, or a group that came out, where you're like, okay, I get it. Like, all right, I understand what they're doing. Or I respect this person's art so much that I'm cool with them being the lead right now of the culture, of the music.
I never got to that point, but when Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, when they recorded the album, and they had Freedom, they had Freedom out, and then they put out the Message and stuff like that. I was like, cool, this is opening a lot of doors for all the other MCs and all the other groups and stuff like that, And by Flash and my brother Mean Gene being on the forefront of the innovation of hip hop, I was like, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and if they're in the forefront, it's all good. I just know that they are represented, and they've worked hard. I've seen them work so hard to get to where they were. Just like myself and my brother Mean Gene, we've worked hard too to get where we need to get to. So it was like, even if we would have been the first one, we would be there to open up doors for everybody else to come in behind us. Then you had the Sugar Hill Gang. The Sugar Hill Gang came out, and we was trying to figure out, like, where did these guys come from? These guys were never doing no parties in the Bronx, and I never seen these guys and stuff like that. I mean, we seen Big Bang Hank, God bless him. He was the manager for Grandmaster Cass and the Cold Cuts brothers, and I was like, what's going on here? I'm a little bit confused, but I mean, it's always going to be a curveball thrown when other people are influencing stuff, and once the corporate America got their hands on hip hop, it was basically out of our hands. It was eventually going to slip away from us once the corporate America got their hands on hip hop, and that's when we started recording and we started putting out these albums and stuff like that. That's when our destiny was put into other hands. I feel that way.
We talk rap is number one genre of music out there. It's all over the world. You could have now, you could have like you mentioned, like you have Grandmaster Cass recording himself in the Bronx while getting a beat from some dude in Australia, right? It's like that. Are you, I mean, I imagine, are you happy to how big it's gotten, or more so, are you happy with how it became so big, the path that it took to get this big?
I'm not really too happy about the path that it's taken. I think that it's gotten to the point where all the pioneers, all the groups that put the blood, sweat, and tears into this art form, into this culture, should have gotten better recognition, should have been treated a little bit better, because it gotten to the point where they were trying to erase us from history, you know, trying to make it seem like hip hop or rap started in the 80s, you know, with Run DMC and all the groups that came out in the early 80s and stuff like that. I mean, I got love for all these groups and stuff like that, but it's definitely the media. The media should have been like, you know, there's a new genre of music. It's called hip hop. It's called rap. You know, these are the guys that it came from. You know, we just want to get recognized for the blood, sweat, and tears that we put into this art form, into this culture. And I feel that there's a generation gap where we should have educated everybody. We should have documented a lot of stuff. We didn't do too much documentation. We took a lot of pictures, but we should have done more documentation so that we could teach everybody around the world where this art form, where this culture came from. And then we wouldn't have to have these young rappers out here not respecting the people that put the blood, sweat, and tears and made the blueprint for something that they're doing today that's making them rich, millions and millions of dollars, and these corporate companies making them millions and millions of dollars, and they're just trying to just make us extinct. You know, we're still here. Right. We are still here. We ain't going nowhere. You know.
You talk about obviously with the lyrics. I understand lyrics. People talk. I understand words. Mm-hmm. DJing is a whole different ball game because Terminator, speak with your hands. How has the purpose, and I should have asked you this in the beginning, but the purpose of or the type of expression the DJs, what you started out doing, how has that changed to what it is today? Are DJs still trying to express themselves the same way? Do you think there's like a, I don't know if commercial aspect of what they're doing, like very similar, like lyricism kind of has become pretty similar. It's, commercially it's the same song, it feels. Mm-hmm. Is that the same with DJing?
Yes and no. I feel that us as a DJ back in the days, I can only speak for myself. When I get on the turntables, I want people to come to my parties and not forget about their problems, not forget about everything that's going on in their life, but I want them to be able to come to the party and just forget about everything that's going on in their life and just come to the party and just have a good time. Doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter where you're from. It's just one nation under a groove. Everybody just in the house partying and having a good time, Right. It doesn't matter who the DJ is. It doesn't matter what kind of skills the DJ have. It's just that the DJ is doing a job and making sure that everybody's dancing and having a good time. Now you got people going to see DJs just because the DJ is is a movie star or just a public figure and stuff like that. And I mean, that's all cool and everything, but I feel that, if you want to hire somebody, hire me, hire Grand Wizard Theodore, Right. And, if you're gonna hire a celebrity DJ, I mean, hire a pioneer DJ to be along with the celebrity DJ or something like that, And I just feel that people should just realize that when you go to a party, the DJ has one job to do, and that's to make everybody dance and have a good time. You don't want nobody standing in front of the stage just looking at the DJ because you seen him on TV or seen him somewhere, Right. Hire a DJ because of his skills,
right. How, speaking of a live show, how is the live show work out for you? I mean, is it because it looks flawless, right? So is it planned out, or is it really based on maybe the feel of the crowd, or the feel, or even the feel what you're feeling, that you could have totally planned one set and then get there and like throw it out the window, whatever.
Yeah, it never works out the way you plan. Like when I go, like if someone say, okay, we want you to come to Australia, we want you to do like 5 shows. When I get to the venue, I don't know who's there.
Right.
I have to look at the crowd and figure, oh wow, okay, let me play some 80s music. They might not want to hear 80s music. They might want to hear some reggae. If I play some reggae, they might not want to hear reggae. They might want to hear some turntablist stuff. Or they just might want to hear some funk and soul music. Or they might want to hear me just play some 45s. I really don't know until I actually get to the venue. And I really like that challenge because it just helps me and to stay focused on what I need to do as a DJ.
So you're still lugging crates?
Well, what I do is I play a computer, but what I do is I put like a little small crate of records in my bag and stuff like that.
No.
I might put like a little, a couple of records in my bag that where I can close my laptop and just get busy with the vinyl and stuff like that, so that people can see the difference between, playing a laptop and then playing vinyl.
Right. Speaking of, what is that one sound that you get from a vinyl that you can't get from a laptop?
That hard bassy sound that really, really moves you, man. I mean, it takes you back to listening to the jukebox, going to a club and sticking a quarter into the jukebox and hearing that heavy, hard sound when the record comes on, right. Or just going or just being in your parents' house and playing that 45 and hearing that hard knock studio sound from the record and getting that feeling. That's what it is.
What's your favorite, maybe a couple of favorite pieces of music that you definitely have to play when you're, or even not even just play for the crowd, just play for yourself to kind of like just get you in?
It would have to be funk and soul music, man. I mean, like if I do a DJ set, I would have to play some Aretha Franklin, Rocksteady. I would have to play some James Brown,
Oh, yeah, nice.
And some Dennis Coffey. Dennis Coffey is like a jazz band, and we used to play Dennis Coffey breaks. Some of his songs actually have breaks in them. And then you got the Incredible Bongo Band, and stuff like that. And then you got the Kool and the Gang, and then you got all these funk and soul groups that has breaks in their records. And those are the songs that I like to play, man. I love it. Mm-hmm.
So speaking of the live show, with the last night of DJ Saved My Life.
Yes,
you have that going on. How did that come about? I mean, you look at the lineup and you're like, how do you get all those people together?
Well, LBC, from Baltimore, she brought the idea to my attention, and I think it's really cool to bring a DJ back. I mean, come to a venue and listen to these pioneer DJs. You got one DJ that's like Public Enemy's producer,
Keith Chakra, yeah.
Yeah, then you got one DJ, Cut Creator, which used to be LL Cool J's
right.
DJ. And then you got DJ Hurricane, which used to be the Beastie Boys DJ, Then you got Charlie Chase, that used to play for the Cold Cuts Brothers,
right.
Then you got Grand Wizard Theodore, the creator of Scratch and the Needle Drop, And to have all of us like collectively bands, it's awesome, man.
Does that mean are you all on stage at once, or is it just kind of different sets?
Yeah, different sets. Different sets. There ain't come a time where you have one DJ coming and do an hour, the next DJ coming and do an hour, next DJ coming and do an hour. And people can see that we all have different styles, So it's like you come in and it's like, we got 5 DJs and all these guys got different styles. So it's like you can come and just party all night with these guys, One guy might play house music, one guy might play funk and soul, one may play R&B, one may play reggae. All of them got different styles. And we can cover like a whole party,
You mentioned everyone that's going to be there, and I kind of wanted do a quick like word association. Like, I say their names, you say first thing that comes up. So Keith Shockley.
Oh, Keith Shockley, come on. I mean, Keith is like so much energy, man. You never know what Keith is going to play, because every time I go see Keith play, he may do house music or he may just do breaks. By him being one of the producers of the Public Enemy, it's like you never know what this guy's going to play, and I love that about him. He's unpredictable.
Hurricane.
Oh man, Hurricane, man, just so aggressive, man. It's like when he plays, man, it's just like you can feel his energy, man, and you can feel the essence of where he came from, and it's like the electricity this guy sends is just incredible.
Charlie Chase,
wow. Well, Charlie Chase is from like the same true school that I'm from, so I know that whatever he does, man, he's going to put his heart into it, and his soul and his energy into it, because this is what we was doing before we even started making any money from doing this. We love this culture, we live this culture, and it shows when we actually perform.
Cut creator.
Oh man, being LL Cool J's DJ, he's used to playing in big arenas. He wants people to realize that he's still here. He hasn't gone nowhere. He loves music just like we love it. And you will never know what he's going to do. You don't know if he's going to play house, he's going to play reggae. You don't never know what he's going to do. And his energy is really good, man. He's really good people,
And last but not least, Grand Wizard Theodore.
Oh man,
I know about that guy.
I'm just gonna just like come and bring complete the energy of everybody, man. I'm gonna come in and I want to electrify the crowd. I want them to see the different faces of Grand Wizard Theodore, where I might come in and do my laptop for half an hour, and then the last half an hour come out and do my turntable and stuff with my 45s and my break beats and stuff like that, to show people how rounded I am, and to show them that I have a gift, and I want to display this gift to you. So just sit back, strap yourself in, and I'm gonna take you for a ride.
You're not just a DJ. You're not just a teacher. You're not just a pioneer. You do obviously other stuff. And as we were talking before, you mentioned before the interview your clothing line. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, the clothing line is called The Birth of Hip Hop. You can go to birthofhiphop.com. And it's a clothing line, and it's a clothing line that not only you can wear, but you can learn from the clothing line by going to the website and stuff like that. I feel that it's a lot of different clothing lines out, but why not wear your own clothing line?
Right, definitely. Yeah.
So the Birth of Hip Hop is just a clothing line to remind people, man, that I'm a part of something that basically changed the world. And we have tees for girls, we have hoodies, we have all the apparel, and when you walk the streets and people look at it, it sends a message. The birth of hip hop, the birth of something that changed the world. When
did that idea come to you? I mean, when did you?
Well, the idea came to me a couple of years ago with myself and Mr. Cortez McKay. We are in the process of filming Itching for a Scratch, which is a 3-part series on how I created the scratch. We have a little 11-year-old kid playing me and stuff like that, and we're filming now and stuff like that, and we just hope that we can present it to the world and they can see a perspective on what kind of kid I was before I created the scratch, because I think it's very important for people to know how we lived in the city. Like I said earlier, the abandoned buildings,
right,
the single parent homes, the gangs, the drugs, everything was smothering us in the Bronx in the early 70s, and this is what became of it. This is what became of it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes. Yes.
legend, inventor, teacher, pioneer, everything. Grand Wizard Theodore, thank you so much for joining me in the library, man.
Salute.
Thank you.
Some people like to deep clean every Saturday morning. I prefer to spend a few minutes every day keeping things fresh with Lysol. Lysol's toilet bowl cleaner disinfects both the toilet brush and bowl for 2-in-1 disinfection, killing 99.9% of viruses and bacteria. Don't just clean, Lysol clean.
Meet the next generation of podcast stars with SiriusXM's Listen Next program, presented by State Farm. As part of their mission to help voices be heard, State Farm teamed up with SiriusXM to uplift diverse and emerging creators. Tune in to Stars and Stars with Issa, as host Issa Nakazawa dives into birth charts of her celeb guests. This is just the start of a new wave of podcasting. Visit statefarm.com to find out how we can help prepare for your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.